You look good.
You're fine, Granny. Alright, that good.
Okay.
I think.
So can you tell me when and where you were born?
Well, I was born in Jamestown, Texas.
Okay.
That's in East Texas. And what else?
And when?
In 1934.
Okay. Can you describe the community that you grew up in?
The community that I grew up
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Well, let's see. By the time I was 6, we moved to West Texas, and we lived on a ranch, and I was the only child. Get that in. And the community at that time, it had a gin, and it had 2 stores, country stores, and 2 churches. So in the school there were 8 grades, 1st through the 8th, and there the first row, it had 2 rooms. And we had a cafeteria, and we had a stage. We had a place where we could put on shows or whatever. And I started in the 1st grade there. And the name of the little community was Whon, W-H-O-N. And there was a row for the 1st grade, a row for the 2nd grade, a row for the 3rd grade, and on that way. And I went to school there until we consolidated. They closed all the little schools in all the little communities. And we went to Santa Ana, Texas. We rode the bus to Santa Ana. And it took probably close to an hour to get there from where. So there was many times I was the first one to be picked up. So I would catch the bus before daylight, and I was the last one to get off, and it'd be nearly dark by the time I got to my stop. So, and when we consolidated and started, I was going to be in the 8th grade. And so I went to their to their grammar school, say, for 1 year. And then I transferred to high school there with 3 years. I didn't go there my senior year. But,
as you were growing up, what did you think you wanted to do for a living when you graduated high school?
I had no idea. That was the furthest thing. You know, I never thought about that. I was having fun, and I just didn't think about what I wanted. And there's so many kids that do know what they want to do, but I didn't, and I knew I wasn't going to college because I wanted to graduate, but I didn't like school. I really didn't care for it, but I knew I had to graduate or my parents would kill me.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to.
Can you tell me about your relationship with your parents?
Oh, I had a good relationship with my parents. I really did. And I did what they said, whether I wanted to or not. And you didn't argue back. My dad was very strict with me. And when we lived out there, I had dates that they'd come to the house, but some of them didn't come back second time because they figured out how far it was on that ranch from town, you know. and always teased and said, I hope that's the reason they didn't come back. But yeah, and they were just, you know, I never asked for anything that they didn't try to get it for me.
Mhm.
They were that kind, you know.
Mhm.
So we got along real well.
How did boys and girls have different plans and or expectations? So how were they treated differently, boys and girls?
How were they treated
Yeah.
different? We're just, you know, treated the same. And they were taught, the boys were taught to open the door for the girls if they had a
That's
date.
good.
and I had to have them, they had to come in and meet my mother and dad. If they'd have ever blowed out in the car for me to come, I
Yes.
wouldn't have went that night. Now, you know,
Yeah.
they had to come in and they had to meet them.
Okay.
But that's about the only difference, you know.
Mm-hmm. After you graduated high school, what did you do for a living? What was your job? Did you have any jobs?
Well, we moved to North Carolina,
Mhm.
and I went my senior year there. We left at the end of my junior year. My dad got a job in North Carolina with cattle. He worked Polk Hereford cattle. And after I finished school, the man we were working for, we lived there 2 years, and he died. So we had to find another job, you know, because he had passed away, and we moved to South Carolina. And we lived there just about a year, I guess. And we lived 25 miles from Columbia,
Mhm.
South Carolina, which was the capital. I know you know. And I told my dad one day, "Can I go to Columbia and put in some applications for a job?" And he said, "I want to tell you something." I didn't know at the time, but he wasn't intending to stay there too long and work on this particular place.
Mhm.
He said, "I want to tell you something. When you go to work, you work the rest of your life. So just don't think about work right now." Well, we met at Rose's Western Club in Fort Worth. I loved to dance, and he did too. And that's where he would go, you know, and that's where I would go. And I met him there, and we didn't go together but 3 months when we got married. That was too soon too.
After 3 months?
After 3 months, we got married. So that's not long enough for anybody, really.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. So what did you like about him?
Well, I don't. He kind of dressed Western. He wore boots and Levi's and Western shirts, and he and I loved to dance together. We danced a lot, alike. I had a boy first, and me not being around, being the only child, it was kind of hard for me with my son. I didn't want him to go out when he was kind of old enough to go out, and I'd want him to come home when he could have stayed. But that's what you do to girls.
Yes.
And I was trying to treat him like I did the girls, a lot of that. And he worshipped my mother. And he stayed with her a lot until she had cancer, passed away. And I had him, how you can put this, 10 years before I had Lori. And then
that was all I was going to have. That was it. Larry and Lori. And I got pregnant again with Rhonda. And that was I think Lori was 4 when she was born. She was 4. Their birthdays are the same month. And the girls, it was easy for me with them because I knew, I'd been through it, so I kind of knew how to treat them. Not many people can say this. When I started to school in the 1st grade, I started with this girl that lived in the community. And we become best friends, like sisters. And we are still best friends. And that's been a long time ago since we started school together. So that's one of my memories. In fact, all of my friends that I have now are friends that I went to high school with or went to school with. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
It's memories from my school days, things that I did. It's not, and having my kids was the experience.